right? She beats him 4-2. She comes off, rolls the dice. Yeah, moves the thing. He stays on with 2. Next person comes on, they're 2 up down. Okay? So you keep your score. Right, so we've got teams. Yeah. Everyone will actually win. Okay? Yeah, at some point. Alright, ready? Brackets guys are behind you at the back. Alright, balls are here. Okay? So you two are going to play first. What's it up to? Tim, what's it up to? What's the score up to? First, 2, 4. Well done. Okay, so you take 2 balls, go all the way down to the end floor. Okay? Down you go, right? On you go all the way to the end. That's it. That's the end, all the way to the far end. That's it. As soon as you get there, start playing. Go, 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 right? Okay, who's up next? David, roll. You go to the next court there. Okay, Andrea, James. You seem to have a North California kind of thing going here. Right, you guys, you're just waiting. Because they're only playing up to 4, and then as soon as somebody finishes, one of you will be on, but not both of you. Yeah? Right, let's just get that. Just play really quick. Don't do a typical adult thing and just rally nicely. Try and actually try and win. I always wonder why they do this. You are the most competitive nation in the entire world, and you get coaches out there and they go, yeah, let's go rally. Alright, so I just wanted to do this as Alright, just want to do this as a first concept, right? So there's a couple of simple little things involved. We've got, for example, a funny scoreboard, it's a little bit different. We've got a dice, we've got a different way of staying on. Yeah, obviously we can do this throw and catch it. It's kind of my first tournament kind of thing. Yeah, it's better than a round robin, alright, because everyone kind of gets to play the same number of points. Eventually everybody will win. Yeah? Does everyone understand the format?
You just roll the dice, right?
Okay?
I got 1 point.
Got 1, okay? So keep the score. Make sure you call the score each time.
You want us to start
Alright.
now? Start now? What?
No, I wanted you to start playing 5 minutes ago. Come on.
Here we go. 1 and 2. I feel it.
Am I singing in Russian here, or are they just not understanding very much? Okay. Oh!
Did that catch?
What's the score down there, guys? Yeah. Yeah, what's the score? Yeah, what's the score? Who told these kids it was Wimbledon?
2-0. Oh, wow. 2-1.
4?
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going to focus on 3 things. Yeah? On this, I'll finish their matches. We're going to look at how we can create a task focus within a match. No cash. When you see that, by the way, when you say let's no cash, you have to stick your hand in here like that, like you're enjoying. That's the only way to say let's no cash. Right? Long story, I'll tell you if you want me to. Right, okay, very simple. Right, we're going to focus on helping them to get a victory from every single match. So very typically with younger kids, they can't separate their performance from the outcome. Yeah, they'll say things like, I was brilliant, I won, or I was terrible, I lost. Even though you actually know that they did something really well. Now the problem with that is, every time they lose everything. Now if you or I went to play, if you or I went to, so let's imagine we're going to play Djokovic. First of all, you're on a big buzz, aren't you? You're going to play him, right? Even if he plays all out, you're going to challenge yourself in these different little ways. You're going to take what we call a task focus. You're going to go, right, I'm just going to see if I can get my impact point out in front there on that return serve. Just going to try and get 1 return back in deep. I'm just going to see if I can make it with 2 steps out wide on that serve. I'm going to take the task focus that goes beyond the match. Yeah? So our first thing is kind of, how can we do that with kids so that they can pick things out that they want to work on and they feel positive about other than just the result. Because it's very difficult for them to do that, especially boys. Yeah? By the way, I'm not doing anything, I'm not saying anything sexist when I separate boys and girls. Okay, my experience of working with boys and girls are much more intelligent than boys. But if you don't believe me, ask my ex-wife, she'll tell you that that's the truth. Alright? Okay? Sorry. I couldn't. Right? Yeah. Okay, alright, okay. We've got the idea of how that works, yes? So, alright. And we've got a format that's kind of running itself. And we've got our little scoreboard, it's working, we've got all those kind of things. So let's think about some formats we can do. Right, stop having fun. Oh, I said we were going to talk about fun. Go back over there for a minute while I explain what fun is. Right, go over there. Every time, I'm going to say this in public, at the USPTA World Conference. Put your hand up if you're a non-American. Thank you, we are a world conference. Right, okay? Real simple, right? Real simple. Stop saying the number one reason kids give up or don't play or want to do something is about fun. Without, let me just finish the sentence, without clarifying what fun is. Because fun doesn't exist on its own. Fun for, fun for my daughter would definitely be in a team with her friends at 13. Yeah? Fun for some boys might be being very competitive. Fun for some kids might be being very active. We have got to go deeper than just say, it's because it wasn't fun. Yeah? We've got to look a little bit beyond that and start saying, what is fun? Yeah? What makes something fun? Because otherwise what ends up happening is we provide entertainment. And you have to be careful of that. Start asking yourself, with this group of kids, with their orientation, what is fun? Because it could be something very different to what you think is fun. Yeah? Okay. Right, so we're going to play some little competitions. We're going to use some of the guys for different things. The first one we're going to do is we're going to play noughts and crosses. Okay? Look at me now. What is noughts and crosses? Sorry, I'll translate. Tic-tac-toe. Okay? Or if you want to do it, connect four. Okay? If you want to find out how tactically advanced the kid is, by the way, play them at connect four. Because, if you're like me, you're just going to put one in. But they're really advanced tactical kids. They're making all these different lines and patterns and building things. You see so much in a lot of things other kids do. Right, so, this is where we play. We're going to have two plays on. Tim, you go over there. Alright? Let's have John, you come over here. Right, this is going to be Tim against John. John, you're going to play with your wrong hand. I'm just smiling now. So you're going to Right, okay. The idea of noughts and crosses is simple. You only get a point if you win 3 points in a row. It's a timed match. We're going to play for 5 minutes. Alright, we're going to use the clothespins. And basically, so you can do this, you can see how you can do this as a drill or as a competition. You have the clothespins there. Every time you win 3 points in a row, yeah, Rambo style. Okay? Tim, every time you win 3 points in a row, put that there, yeah? You don't get any pins unless you win 3 points in a row. We're going to play the match for 5. Because some of the kids to start with need a little bit of help, we're going to have a scorer on each court, so we're going to use our extra people. Louise, be a scorer. You score on that court there. Okay, let's have Raoul, you come down here and you play David. Right, you guys are on. Okay, let's have Andrew, you go at the bottom there. And you play
Ryan.
Ryan or Brian?
Ryan.
Okay, you go down there. Okay, we need you guys to help you. Oh, sorry, you've got Lily, she's hiding. Andrew, you play Lily. Brian, you score down the bottom, okay? Alright, why don't you guys just come and score here for a second? Alright, so we keep the scorers in just to help us and then we can rotate them every few minutes, yeah? Alright, now Lil, she's going to play Andrew just here. Okay, you're going to play just there, alright? Okay, so the scorer is just there to make sure they don't lose count, because obviously keeping the idea of 3 in a row is what's happening. Alright, you haven't got no life at the moment. Okay, you score there. You're not really off. Alright, okay, so, alright, you ready? You've got the idea? So we're going to play for 2 minutes. You get a pin every single time you win 3 in a row. Okay? We won't play for 2 minutes, we'll just get the idea going and stop and move on. Alright, go. So now we've got a little bit of a focus within the activity. We're thinking a little bit more about shots. Fist pump for that one. Ooh. Now, statistically, everyone knows tennis, so everyone knows the player that wins the most sets of 3 points in a row, 99% of the time wins the match. Yeah, that's why we're doing this 3 points in a row. Okay? So if we can get kids to focus, and also we want them to understand the point is only earned when they've won enough points. It's not like about one little point. They have to stay focused, stay concentrated. Alright? Okay. Alright, so that's one little practice, one little drill we can do. What we're going to do now, let's swap the scorer on. Right? So you take John's place. Did you win any pegs? Sorry, I have to say pins. I got very confused once. I was in Chicago working at Butcher's Club, and I went into Piggly Wiggly's, which is the best name for a supermarket on the entire planet. Right? And I said, have you got any pegs? And they went, what? I said, pegs? You know, to hang your washing up. Oh, those pins. Okay, yeah, we've got any clothespins. In Chicago, everyone uses dryers. Right, so slightly different. Let's swap a couple of people around. Raoul, I'm going to take you off for a second. Dave, come off for a second. Ryan, you go on, and Jimmy, go on down the end. Right, okay. Slightly different. This time, so that was 3 points in a row. This game is called Mission Possible.
Mission Possible.
Okay, so this is another way of focusing on, in your envelope is going to be your secret mission. Okay, and what you're going to do is remember how many times you've achieved your mission. Actually, what we would do is take a pen, go back, and every time after every point, they mark down how many times they did their mission. Alright, that's your mission. I can't help you, so that's your mission. Hey, Lils, recount. You've got to do that now. Count how many times you do that. Count how many times you do that. Jim, count how many times you do that. Okay. None, it's not your notification winning the lottery or anything. Just, alright. So look here. Alright, you got a mission? Yeah? So basically what happens is it just says, your mission, I mean you can do, look, we all have desktop publishers. We can do your mission should you choose to accept it, ... We get that, the kids won't even understand what that means. Right? And then we just put things, so this one says, get your serve to their backhand. Right? So then they're going to play their little match, and every single time they finish a point, they come back and they just take a pen at the back and they just put a little tally mark. It's amazing how many times the kids come forward and they say, I did my mission 10 times tonight, or I did my mission 8 times tonight. You say, oh, what was the score? And they go, oh yeah, I lost 5-2. Yeah? So you see, it actually starts them to think about the process and what they're actually working on. As soon as we make things concrete and physical to start writing down, yeah, then the kids are starting to get control. Remember, the only thing you can control in tennis is how hard you try at your end of the court. You cannot control what goes on at the other end. You can try to control it, but you can't. Yeah? You can only, effort is really the only thing you can control. Okay, so if we set a mission in place that they've got some idea of what they're doing, and now when they come back from a tournament or a competition or anything else, we can start to talk to them about those kind of things. Yeah? Right, so it's just about creating a little bit of focus around something other than the result. Yeah? Now, what we can do to this is we can tag team tennis it. Alright, so let's do this. Right, Raoul, you join Tim. Angela, you go with Lily. Sorry, you go again. John, you go down the end in the corner. David, you go up there in the middle. Right, so now, and I think we shouldn't miss this opportunity, right? Now what happens?
No, you're with me.
Oh, okay. You're going to play 1 point on, 1 point off, and then you're going to do this really American thing in between points.
Oh.
No, not chest off. You're going to do a huddle.
Okay.
Yeah. So, in other words, I want them to talk about how they can more effectively achieve their mission. I actually want them to actually spend time not playing doubles, but playing singles with a partner, so they can start talking about the tactical side of things and what they're trying to do. Yeah, so they get time to stop. Get that? Yeah. So you've got to know what his mission is. You've got to check you know what it is. You've got to check you know what her mission is. All right, you've got to check you know what it is.
What about attacking?
Now, they could all have the same mission. Okay? Because we might have been working on it in our lessons. We might have been saying, everyone's working directing the serve, everyone's mission today is how many balls can you get directed to their backhand? Or at an orange level, how many times can you make your opponent step over the sideline? Yeah? See the difference between those two? It's a different level of cognitive understanding. One is about where you can make the ball go, and another one is making the opponent do something. Okay? Alright? Okay, we'll carry on, play. Carry on, see how many times you can do our mission. Play 1 foot on, 1 foot off. Like it now. Ooh! Don't be dramatic, please. Come on. Alright, okay, so you get the idea. There's just 3 things you can do to increase the task focus on actually what's going on. One is to get them to focus on trying to win more points in a row, understanding it's not just that way. The second one, probably the most important one, is to create missions. And the third one is actually get them to buddy up. Get them to be involved in coaching each other, determining what tactics might be. Alright, I want to do, because I'm trying to cover a lot in a short space of time, so I want to also look now at creating challenge. Now, here's a really interesting one. Learning comes from a combination of opportunity and challenge. Yeah? Yeah, you switch every point. Yeah. Listen to the coach. Next time I'll tell you, Mum, you've been good. Right? Okay? It comes from opportunity and challenge. But it's like, do you know the bell curve? Yeah? People talk, you know what, I want my people on the other ball because I want them to be challenged to the ultimate. No. That doesn't create learning. Okay? It's about optimal challenge. Okay? And in optimal challenge, you must have the opportunity to be able to adjust and adapt. Okay? So it's about, but we have to create challenge to make learning happen. Okay? We can also create huge amounts of focus. So for example, if I do that, I'm learning nothing. There's no challenge whatsoever. If I do this, okay, that's slightly challenging. If I switch it to this, you're all thinking, can you do that? No, I'm not. If I do that, alright, that's probably, I can give you a couple of seconds maybe. Yeah. Right? See, there's different levels of challenge. But we can create different circumstances where the balance is a little bit uneven. So we start off in red, we want, if I looked at success and challenge, right? In red, I'd say, that's success, that's challenge. I want it to be like that. Perhaps more success than challenge. Yeah? When I get to orange, I want it to be like that. Okay? Oh, sorry. Not quite yet found the balance of manoeuvring strategy. Right? I want it to be like that. Even. That's the success. When I get to green, actually, we could understand learning. It's an interesting thing, understanding learning. We all understand learning. We all understand how to practice something to get to something. But actually, a lot of kids, right, you can stop playing now because you're being distracting. Right? Okay? I remember that day my daughter came home from school and I said, was school good? She went, no, it's too learning. Like it was some kind of disease. Yeah? Now, what she was actually saying was, yeah, we had to kind of do work which didn't feel like playing anymore. So learning had now had a curriculum, a path to follow, it was a bit more difficult. Yeah? There is a point at which kids start to understand what real learning is and why they might want to practice and train to achieve a certain outcome. It's normally 7, 8 years old. Before that, they think they're playing most of the time. Okay? So that's the point at which we can start to do that, because now they understand what the challenge is there for. So these games, these challenging games, are going to basically put us in a situation where life's not fair. Yeah? Okay? Alright. You two ready? Good. Okay, that's great. Right. Okay, right, so what we're going to do is this. We use this little thing. We're going to play a tie break. We need to all go back to the beginning, actually. Let's all go back to the beginning. Before we play the tie break, we're going to roll the dice. When you roll the dice, that's the score in the tie break. So if you roll a 6, you're up 6. Yeah, so no match starts level. Every match starts up or down as well. It could start level because they can both roll the same number. Alright? But we need those two cues you have at the beginning, 2 lines, alright? Lil's team and Tim's team. Right, there you on that side. Right, I'm going to switch around a little bit. You, Richard, you come in here. Just there. You won one already. Where's that Peter? You won one already. That means new car tomorrow, please. If he wins again, he gets a condo. Right, okay. We're in Florida, come on. Nothing costs going to tomorrow, it's a bankrupt. Right, roll. Roll. Ready? Okay. The good news is you've got 4 points. You've got to play Richard. And Richard rolled. And he only got 2. So you're winning 4-2. And you've got to get to 7. Go get it. Alright? Okay? Luis goes. Oh, Luis, well done, you rolled a 1, fantastic. Alright, Lily rolls 4, Lil, well done, 4-1, you go and beat him up, okay? Yeah, well done. Those are the things I've done bad. Right, I like it. Not that it's competitive or anything. Right, okay, so we've got some idea there. We've got 2 big kids here. They will roll for you. This dice hasn't been rolling forever. You got 1. John. You bought me a beer last time. You got a 6. John, well done. Right, you're on here. Okay, it's up to 7, yeah. John's up 6-1. Alright, so we can create a little challenge. So, you know, I'm from England, in case you haven't noticed, and it rains there sometimes, not very often. Okay, and I learned this as a young coach. No, it doesn't. It's just really great. It doesn't rain very often, right? And basically, I was a young coach and I was down on Portsmouth seafront. Don't go there. It's a horrible place, right? But it was pouring down rain. This coach said to me, "Oh, sorry, Mike, I've got to go on the coach." And I said, "Jason, it's pouring down the rain. What are you doing?" Or a challenge in the rain, Mike. You know, so complete lunatic. But actually, you start to think about, well, yeah, that kid that was out there on that court with him that day, they might not have, you know, had fun. It wasn't. To be fair, it wasn't 1000 less than that day. There are different ways to play a challenge. Yeah. Right. So that's that idea. We're just going to roll through ideas. You can see how it works. Next idea. All right, hold on. We're not playing that game anymore. Okay. This is the game. Actually, we start here. You land with the ball. Okay. Right, Andrew, you're going to stand there. So I'll just show you with Andrew while the others carry on. Right, you feed the ball in and play the point. Okay, ready to go. You lost. It's because you have to go to the middle and he has to stand on the outside.
Do I get the feed?
He gets the feed. Alright?
What happens when they win? Where do they win?
Oh, you can go back. Okay. So, Andrew, let's imagine that Andrew didn't lose. Cheeky little North Carolina. Right? Let's imagine actually you won, James. Yeah. Jim wins this time. Because Jim started here. This time he wins. Alright, so now he has to go here. So now you have to start the ball over here. Ideally, this is like an orange court drill. So he has to start. Now you're in the middle. We pretended you lost, yeah? Alright? Oh, okay, so then we can even out, but we can actually put someone out of position, out of the court, put them in challenging scenarios. In the scenario we've got here, where we've got, can I steal that? This is one we do sometimes with the dice, and I steal your bubble wrap. Okay, then, and we might do this, 6 rackets on the ground, so be my new favourite racket. Okay. 6. And then we have dice. Okay. Andrea rolls the dice. It's 1, 2, 5, 6. Let's play with number 3. Alright? Yeah? So she's now got to play with that racket. Okay, someone's got to play with that number 4. Okay? So, think about scenarios and situations where you can actually put kids in challenging situations. Yeah? If you make everything even and then they go into a competition, and most of these are more orange-based. Yeah, so we're playing on these little courts, but most of these are very orange-based. Right? Then you can actually create situations that make them more comfortable in the competitive experience. They can now identify what they take from the competition, because we've practiced it, the same as we've practiced a forehand or a backhand or a serve, and we can now accept challenging situations. We know sometimes we're behind. We know sometimes we've got to play with the racket that isn't quite performing the way we want to. We know sometimes the wind's blowing. Not that we can create that, but you understand? Yeah? How do we create these kind of harding these kids up? Right now, some of you look like you need to do this. Right? Okay? So, can you stand up, turn around, and sit back down here real quick? Just make it feel better. Go on. Right, now I just point out for the last 10 minutes I've travelled 3,500 miles to speak to you for 1 hour. Right? So please, alright? Yeah, you haven't. You can go back to Australia. Go back. I did 565 days ago recently. That was a nightmare. Right, okay. So the last thing, thank you very much to our coaches. Thank you very much. We're just going to use Lily and you guys come on. Right. You've got to pay attention to this because it takes a little bit of brain power to understand what's going on. Okay? Get your racket, which one is it about? Look, which racket is it?
In your seat.
A level of cognitive development that only most 9, 10, 11-year-olds have got. If you can start stage 1 with younger kids, but actually if you try and do this with the really young ones, normally you don't get the result you want. Right? So we're going to use my favourite tools again. Right, okay. So Lily, you're going to be yellow, alright, and you're going to be green, okay? Right, so we're going to put our pins down here. Now where the point ends, we're going to decide, did the point end because you hit an awesome shot? Right, if it ends because you hit an awesome shot, and you did something really well, you're going to put the pin up like that. Okay? If you think that Sis made a mistake, you're going to put the pin like that. If you think she did something that was awesome, don't ever tell your sister that she's awesome, but it's okay, right? Then you can put it on like that, alright? Get the idea? So if it's on the top, it's because someone did something really well, and if it's on the bottom, it's because they made a mistake. Yeah? It's about recognising when we won a point or when actually our opponent lost a point to start with. Get some idea of performance, again, within the practice, alright? Lily, you're going to do it on this side here. It's going to be your little bit, right? And Timothy, you're going to do it on this side over here. Alright? Okay, so you can use those pins there. Alright, you ready? So you're just going to play a normal point. Do you want to serve first, miss? Come on, let's go. Alright, so ready? A service box here, look. There's a service box. Okay, stand back there, chance there. Ooh, right, so, why did the point end? Go on, you go put your pin up over there. You're going to, go on. Lils, which side are you on? You're doing this side, sorry. That's me. Can you do that? Oh, you're going to do it. Go on then, stop over. It's been a long day. Well, did you make the point in or did he make the point? Up to you, decide. Did you think it was because it was a great serve? Okay, put that in. Okay? He's a very intelligent boy. I've never seen a boy with that before in my life. Right? Say his sister just hit a great shot. Short serve now, 18. Alright, so they both agreed. Yeah? Now, this is not a finite thing. Yeah? This is not actually a thing where we can actually, there's not a right and wrong answer. It leads us to a discussion. It leads us to an awareness. Okay? Baseline's just back there. Okay? Not sure your sister. Right? Hands, skip. Oh. Right, go. Serve, play. Okay, put your pin up. Okay, these are either Stepford children or they have fantastic parents. Where are the parents? Okay, they're very balanced. What's going on? I think we found the solution. The next American champions. Right, let's go again. Alright, so this is just stage one. Okay, stage two, we're now going to ask them to determine, okay, how many points the winner actually should get for the win. Oh, that's a good shot, isn't it? Not sure about that one. He's had 1 point, not having any more. Right, okay. So, now what we do is this. Okay, that's stage one. So that would have been 1 week. We do that for a while. Red kids kind of get it. Orange kids certainly start to get it. Now what we do is this, right? Forget the colours. Right? This is going to be your side over here. This is your side over here. And when the point ends, you decide how many the winner deserves. You can give them 0, or 1, or 2. Okay? How many the winner deserves. We're still going to keep the score like a match. Right? This isn't the score, this is the bonus points. Is that right? Yeah? Okay? So again, I said we were looking at green. Remember I said there's 7 and 8. And it's a game that works really well with 9, 10, 11. Right? So you can see already it's a little bit of confusion on Lily's face. It's a strange accent that I talked about now. Right, okay? Go on then, let's play. Right. Let's go. How many points does she deserve? 1. You're laughing. I agree with him. Why does she only deserve 1? I'm really interested in his answer. Why do you think she only deserves 1? Is there something you think you could have done better? Why are you turning away? Look. Brothers are going to be embarrassing for the rest of your life. You've got to get used to it now. Let's go again, your serve. Okay? Actually, let's play without the serve, because we want to see a longer point, right? So you're going to feed your underhand and play. Ready? Go. How many points does she deserve?
2.
Oh. Just it. Okay, we can give her 2. Right? Let's go more. Feed it in again, play now. Maybe just embarrassed him into giving her 2 that time.
Oh, yeah.
How many points would you give your brother?
5.
Never give a man or a boy more than 2 points. Never ever. Right? If it's 1 to 10, give him 2. That's he'd be happy with that. Just leave it at that. 2. Okay. Right. Next level. Next level. Right? Some man is going to be lucky when she's out running. Right? Okay. Next level, miss. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose the point. Yeah? It doesn't matter if you're going to lose a point. You have to decide how many points the other person deserves. Okay? Yeah? Alright, so here we go. See what happens. Okay, no, we're not serving, just hit it in a plate. We want to see a nice little rally. digits?
Come on, yeah.
You can only give 0, 1 or 2. No, you can't give 3. 0, 1 or 2. 2 is the most you can give. If you think he was great, you can give him 2. If you think he was okay, you can give him 1. If you think he didn't really deserve to win the point, you don't give him. What do you reckon? 2. Okay, alright, fine. Alright? Okay? Let's do it one more time. Just one more time, we've got one more version of this. And it's the first time in my entire life I will finish on time in the presentation. Right, okay? Let's go. Ready? How many are you giving her? Really? How many are you giving him? Okay, I can understand that one. I don't quite understand that one. Alright, okay. Last thing then. This is the one they will not get. Remember I said, do you start to see now how, when I talked about this cognitive development thing, you go, actually being able to understand the other person's point of view, that's what it really is. It's actually being able to see the world from the other person's eyes, being able to respect and understand what they deserve. Kids at 8, 9 don't get it. Right? Sorry, 7 and 8 don't get it. It's like 8, 9, so this is, 9, 10, 11 is when we really start to code it. Right, hold on one more time. Last game. So this time we play the point, and you judge the whole point. You judge the whole point except for the last shot. Okay? The whole point you judge except for the last shot. Alright? Now, while they're doing it, I'll explain to you why we do that. Right, so you do it all, but when you think about whether they deserve 2 or 1 or 0, you mustn't count the last ball. So if Lily hits a ball, if she's got you falling down over there, and she hits the ball, right, and she hits it there, how many points does she deserve? She's got you falling down over there, she moved you right up the court over there, right, and then she goes from the minute down the line, she hits it there, but you're not allowed to count the last shot. How many points does she deserve? 2. Yes. Alright, you understand that? You can't count the last ball. Alright, play. Alright, tennis is one of those really odd games when we start to think about the outcomes all the time. We look at where, like, if you're serving, let's imagine we've got the corner of a service box here. Okay, you can go and play, you two. Right? Right? And I'm aiming for this green goal. Yep. I have one ball that lands there on the serve. Right? You can see how close it is. Yeah? I have another serve right here, and it lands over here. But it's in the service box. Which is the better serve? That's the better serve. I only missed by a few inches. This I've missed by feet. But actually, this one's in, and that one's out. And I used to work for HBO Sports at Wimbledon doing the match charting, the stats and doing that kind of stuff. And traditionally, you chart the serve and the return and then how the point finishes. What happened to all the good work in between it? What happened to the rally within it? Yeah? And when they start judging not just their own performance, but other people's performance. So, for example, they play, the other person has them running or almost falling over, and the person missed the ball like I described down the line here, and the other guy goes, she deserves 2. She beat me, she just missed the last shot. Now, instead of really seeing that as a negative experience, you can start to see that as a positive experience. I constructed the point, I built the whole thing up. Yeah, I just missed the last ball. Now, unless we can get to that, it's always going to be judged on the last ball. Unless we start going through the process that I've been talking about here, we're always going to judge it based on the last ball. And now the kid lost, but actually the kid didn't lose at all. The kid was fantastic. She had the other kid scrambling and falling over, but there's no way for her to recognise that because she's never done it in practice. And you start talking about it in matches, but she's never done it in practice. See, so this is just a little process. The close thing works very, very well. It's from, I always credit everything comes from like the game camp book. It's from a really good tutor that I work with, clinician I work with sometimes in the UK called Mandy Franks, who's brilliant at doing this kind of stuff. We modified it down into red, orange and green to make it a much simpler system than she had, but you get the idea. So when we're talking about the formats and things, we're talking about, can we get the kids to focus on task? Yeah? Concentrate. Can we get the kid to then actually accept, understand, and enjoy what competition's really about? It's enjoying the point of challenge. Okay? And there's lots of other ways we can do that, obviously. You know, one of the things I often do with kids is I say, yeah, you can do it like this, or if you want, you can do it like this. But if you do it like that, that's impossible. No 7-year-old ever did it like that. So you can do it like that, the easy way, or you can do it the impossible way. But no 7-year-old ever did it the impossible way. Anyway, you choose. And you choose one. Yeah? And you know what they're going to choose, because you use the word impossible. And when you say impossible, you take away all perception of failure. Because even the coach said it was. Right, so there's some very subtle and simple things we can do. But you really have to understand who the kid is. And they don't understand competition the way we understand competition. So, do you see why I kind of wanted to present this today? Because I really feel like if we get competition right, and the kids can go through this process and really start to learn this, it becomes the coolest computer game ever. They're learning skills, they're learning how to be a little gladiator, they're learning to be a little warrior, they're learning the things they need to know. But actually, if we just go, right, yeah, we think you've got a nice forehand and you can serve the ball in, let's go play a tournament. We're in danger of launching the baby bird out the nest, as I call it. And only two things are going to happen: chuck the baby bird out the nest, fly or die. You better make sure that you've covered off the mental side of things, the emotional side of things, as well as the technical and physical side of things. I didn't finish on time. There you go. Can I thank you very much for staying for stayed awake, and I'm around for the next few days, around